This video is going to show you how to install Ubuntu on a flash drive and then boot it from a computer. You can use any computer, just something that has, bootable USB. So I'll have a link to this in the description. This is a tool I recommend using. You just scroll on here until you see the download UUI 1926. They update this just about every day. So yeah, you click on it and you click run and agree, and then you choose your distro, which I'm going to be using Ubuntu 12.10, and you can download the ISO, and when you click that, it'll automatically launch like your default browser, and it'll immediately go to the download file, so you don't actually have to go looking for it. So it's very nice. But to save time, I currently have it on my SSD, so I'll just click browse, and then I will go down into my desktop and I will find the ISO, which it's not doing. I chose, okay, my bad, Ubuntu. That's why I wasn't finding it. So there we go. I'm going to choose the AMD 64 since we're using, all I really have in my household is 64-bit computers. And with one that has 8 gigs of RAM, one that has 16 that's upgradable to 32, which I will be doing soon. Definitely want to use 64-bit. So for flash drive F, I will show you. You just go to computer, and then you'll see right there that the 32 gig flash drive is drive F. Now, I want to be very clear that this flash drive has like 27 megabyte read and 25 megabyte write. So it's definitely recommended that you use a fast flash drive. If you use a slow flash drive, then you're going to see like Ubuntu just freezing up and pausing for a moment. And yes, we want to format it as FAT32, and then we'll just press create. And then it's going to give you this warning just in case you didn't mean to do this. And then if you want to be safe, just go back here. Okay, drive F32. Yes. And then this depends on how long it takes your computer to do things. I have a 480 gigabyte Corsair Force GT SSD, and it reads at 515 and writes at 495. So it's fairly fast. But I have an i7, I have an Asus G74SX. It's my laptop, and yeah, so it's just going to go through here and extract this. It's a fairly quick process. The longest part of this whole thing will be that persistent file. That persistent file is important because any changes, if you install a program or if you do something, when you reboot the computer, if you have a persistent file, the 4 gig file that I set, which is the max you can do at the moment, you can save your progress. You can plug that flash drive back in, reboot, and all the programs you installed, all the add-ons you've added to Firefox, and everything that you customized will still be there. So it's very, very nice. I definitely recommend using a persistent file, and I do not recommend using a slow flash drive. In fact, if you have a USB 3.0 flash drive, I would use that. But the laptop I'm going to be running this on is not USB 3.0, so I will not be using my 64 gig Patriot Magnum thing. It's like a little mini SSD in your pocket. This thing is quick. But so this is not long at all, as you freaking can tell. This is the longest part right here where it's creating the persistent file. Oh, real quick, by the way, this is a Patriot Rage XT flash drive. Anything above 32 gig, I believe, is exFAT, EXFAT. So you're going to run into more compatibility problems than you would with the 32 gig and below, where it's formatted as FAT32. So I will have a link to this flash drive in the description. I honestly cannot recommend any other flash drive. This thing is small. It has a little indicator light that letting you know data transferring is happening, and it's small. It reads at 27 megabytes per second in a USB 2.0 port, and it reads at 35 megabytes per second in a USB 3.0 port, even though it's a USB 2.0 flash drive. And if you drag a file from my SSD to this thing, it goes at about 23 megabytes the whole time. So you definitely don't want a slow flash drive, otherwise Ubuntu is going to hang when you're booting from it and while you're installing programs and just using it in general. The best part about using this tool compared to installing it is you can use someone else's computer, or if you have something that's running Windows, whether it's running Mac OS or any even if it's not running an operating system, if it doesn't have a hard drive, you can still get it running Ubuntu 32-bit or 64-bit or any Linux distro for that matter. So yeah, I definitely recommend booting from a flash drive. It is better to fully install it, but because your hard drive's like much faster than a USB 2.0 flash drive. Awesome. So we are about done here. It's copying. The process is complete. Awesome. Now definitely safely eject this flash drive, and then you can just pull it out and put it in the computer, which we'll do now. So at this point, I am waiting for my Transformer Prime to charge up, since I use DSLR Controller to control my camera, since my camera, if trying to get it in the shadow but it's not working, or in the reflection, but my camera's way up there. There you go, you get to see my ugly mug. And there you are. Hi. Let's see my messy room. It's clothes hamper. Anyways, this is dumb. Yay, it has enough juice to finally turn on now. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you how to install Ubuntu Preview Touch on the Nexus 7. This is the 32 gig version, and what you're going to see over there at the top right corner of your screen is a CDO, or CDO, however the heck you pronounce it, active case. It's like a kickstand thingy-majig, and I'll be doing a video on that maybe Wednesday, because tomorrow I'm going to be doing my video on how to flash the Nexus 7 back to stock Android 422, and then I can take everything and I can back it up onto a flash drive, and then when I'm done and I flash the Nexus 7 back to stock, I can put that flash drive back in there once I have custom recovery, and I can restore everything from the flash drive. So yeah, let's get started. First things first. As far as I'm aware, all you need is to have an unlocked Nexus 7. It doesn't have to be rooted, as far as I'm aware, and you don't have to have TORP recovery. Now, it is recommended to be rooted and have custom recovery, so you can back up your ROM that you currently have and put it on a flash drive. Because when you do this, I'm pretty sure it wipes it completely. In fact, I know it does. So everything on your internal storage is gone. I'll have a link in the description to some USB OTG cables that I recommend purchasing that I use myself, and backing up your Nexus 7 using that. Let's get started. Alright, so we have our Nexus 7 here. The bootloader is unlocked. We are rooted. We have TORP recovery. I'm actually going to update TORP recovery because I know for a fact that it does not have the very latest version, because they just updated it to 4.23 or 2.43. So install OpenScript recovery and then press yes, and you'll see right there 2.4.30. Press yes, and then you just wait for it to count down. I know it's really bright. That's an ISO problem. Come on. I don't feel like manually dialing down the ISO so you can read that it says it's, please wait for your download. There we go. And then you just check your notifications, and you'll see at the top that it is downloading 2.4.30. This is the very latest recovery from TORP. I don't recommend any other recovery. This is the best of the best. Depending on goo.im servers, this is usually a fairly quick download. Sometimes goo.im is getting hit hard, or their servers just aren't functioning optimally, and the download takes longer than it should. It is now installing the recovery, and bam, it's done. Please keep in mind, again, all you need is an unlocked bootloader. If you want to be able to back up your stuff and go back to your ROM, like basically an image of your ROM, and then restore that image, this is what you're going to need to do. If you don't have a rooted device, then you can't do this. So yeah, I'm going to choose reboot to recovery, press yes. And there you go, 2.4.30. We have the latest TORP recovery. I'm simply going to grab the device, but I'll go ahead and do this first. Plug this in. I can't find my other one, and I kind of like this one because it has a vented tip or whatever, so it'll fit in there flush. Whatever, you can use either one. I'll have a link to both of them in the description of the video. I just can't find my other one, and I do like this one, so plug it in the bottom of the Nexus 7. There's no need to panic. This is a new thing with TORP recovery where it automatically turns the screen off. Because some devices, like, I guess it's burning or something, the screen gets burnt in, or I don't know. And then from here, all we're going to do is choose backup. I'm going to choose system, data, and boot. I'm not going to choose recovery, and I'm not going to choose cache. They might update toward recovery to 2440, which fixed a major bug or something. So I wouldn't do that. It's up to you. And the cache will rebuild itself. So I'm going to go ahead and enable compression just so I can make the file size smaller. And I'm also going to use the external SD card that we have installed. It says 14.8 gigs available. For backup name, I do highly recommend doing this as well. I'm going to do stock with root, because that's what we are. We have stock Android 422 with root access and custom recovery. And then just swipe to back up. This process is going to take a minute, so please be patient. It's going to take the backup and it's going to put it on the SD card, so we can take this SD card and put it in the computer, drag the twerp folder onto the desktop, and we will never ever lose our backup of our stock ROM. So all of our apps, all of our app data, if you have Google Two-Step, all that stuff will be backed up. It's kind of like on a computer making an image of a hard drive. You can just restore that image. So freaking do an Android backup if you like the way your tablet's set up and you want to be able to go back to that. In the settings, you can change how often it turns the screen off and goes dim and stuff. All that's customizable. Again, some devices have burn-in, where like if it sits on one screen for too long, it stays there for a long time, or even worse, it can stay there permanently. So it's just another thing Twerp's doing to get ahead of the competition and, you know, just have the best possible recovery out there. Sweet, so the Android backup is done. One last time, the Android backup is now on this flash drive right here. So I can safely put it on my desktop or just keep the flash drive somewhere. And when I want to go back to this ROM, I'll just flash stock. I'll use the root method that I did a video on, and then I will install the latest 243 or whatever is newer recovery, and then I will restore my Android backup. So at this time, it is safe to press reboot system, and we can unplug the flash drive and just keep it somewhere safe. All right, we're back into stock Android. Plug in the USB cable. You do need to go to the settings and make sure that you have developer options and USB debugging enabled. That's how we're going to install Ubuntu Touch Recovery. So yeah, and if you don't have that available, then all you gotta do is go down here to About Tablet, and then on the build number, just keep tapping it, and it'll say like you're 3 steps away, 2 steps away, 1 step away, and then when you go back, see it says no need, you're already a developer. Then you can go to developer options. They hide that for people that aren't advanced, that sit there and screw around all these settings and mess up their device. Also, all the drivers that we need will be on the computer thanks to the toolkit as well. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the USB port. Alright, the computer actually doesn't have the drivers installed because of the fact that it's, this is a fresh install Windows 7, and I'm going to put in the flash drive and reboot this thing into, Ubuntu. Yes, Jacob? No, not yet, sorry. I promise you, give me about 20 more minutes and I should be done recording. It's just taking longer than expected. I promise you, I'm literally like recording right now. I'll edit us out of this video though. Okay, so it found the Nexus 7, and I'm gonna plug in the flash drive, and then I'm going to reboot. Well, restart the computer now. Every computer's different. Some it's F12, some it's Escape, some it's F2. You'll just have to figure out what button makes yours boot, like the CD drive, or a hard drive, or a flash drive, or a network, or etc. Some you can't even choose that. You actually got to go in the BIOS and you got to like change it. Mine says right there F2 and F12. So F12 takes me to this screen. I'll go down to USB storage device. I'll press enter, and then what we did on the computer, where we used that easy 123 Linux installer thing, that put a Ubuntu on this flash drive. So I've never booted this up before from this installation. This is like the very first boot. So what I'm doing is exactly what you'll be doing. I'm just turning the brightness up so I can see it better. There's my little flash drive. If you have Ubuntu installed on your computer, or like from a faster flash, like USB 3.0 flash drive, this process will be pretty quick. Kind of like a phone, kind of like anything. The first startup takes a little bit longer than all the other ones, just because it's preparing everything and getting everything ready for you to use. So yeah, I'm just gonna click try Ubuntu, and you do need to connect to Wi-Fi. It's kind of hanging right now. It's got the little spinning wheel. That's partly due because of the fact that the flash drive can only read and write so fast. Not sure what just happened here. There we go. Alright, so for wireless networks, we'll just click this little radio icon. We will find our network. Put in the password. Connect to it. It'll say connection established. I'm just going to be adjusting some settings here. I don't like closing the lid and my computer starts doing crazy stuff. So dim the screen. Not for this video. Lock. All settings. Appearance. Behavior. I like to auto hide the stupid little thing on the left there. And then it just makes things look a little bit cleaner. And then we'll just launch up Firefox over here. Make it full screen, and we'll just type Ubuntu Touch Nexus 7. And then I think it's this second link right here, Lifehacker, which takes you to another post. There is different ways of doing this. You can also use like custom recovery and do it, but I prefer doing this. The Ubuntu Touch, disclaimer, connection, blah, 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 supported devices, Nexus 7, desktop setup, following directions, entry is a consider. Alright, so you're going to need to copy this right here, and then you're going to need to go over here, and for the home, type in terminal, and then it doesn't say to do SU, so we'll just paste that, press enter, and then it's going to start downloading your enter to continue. So that's that, or the repository sort list, node, blah, blah, blah. Then do the following. Let's copy that. Go alt tabs, kind of like all the other things. Paste it. And then it starts doing all this crazy stuff. And one of these processes, because I did this on my second channel, one of this takes a while, so you just kind of have to be patient. I have 50 down, 10 up with the Comcast, and it still takes a minute. So this is the long part right here. Maybe this one is it. I don't know. Oh, this one actually unlocks your bootloader, so you don't even need to unlock bootloader to do this. It tells you how to unlock your bootloader from scratch, because you don't have to use a toolkit to unlock your bootloader. It just, makes it easy, that's all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the screen where you literally just have to like set your tablet down and leave for a little while and come back, and then it's done. I much prefer recording my screen and then doing that, but I can't really do that at the moment. Device unlock. If this is already unlocked, skip to step 3. So with the device powered off, fast boot OEM unlock. Anyways, so plug in device, the USB cable. Check the build number, deploying. Alright, so copy this. Go back to the terminal. We're going to paste. Press enter. Accept. Yes. And then right here, just press allow from this computer. Okay. Let's try that again. Device was not offline. It just needed to be enabled. So run that command again. And this is the long part. Like, yeah. There's a couple parts where it has a little loading bar down at the bottom, right here, and it takes a good minute. And then another waiting part. I wish I had like a little stand, because I can't set that down like that, and I can't. I guess I could do it sideways like that, but I don't really have a case. Well, I do have a case that has a kickstand, and I'm going to do a video on it. It's back there that I showed you before. This was kind of the best solution I could come up with, making it easier for me to hold it and for you to see what's going on. And I was able to just drag the screen side by side, so you kind of, I don't have to sit there and go back and forth between Firefox and the thing right there. So I think this might be the part where the, nah, freaking it. Oh, this is quick. I don't remember what part where the tablet actually starts like doing stuff. You've got to love Ubuntu, man. You got to. I mean, it's running from a 32 gig flash drive, and this computer could not have a hard drive or, storage device inside it, like SSD or hard drive. And I'm running Ubuntu. Like, if you find a really old computer that's not worth anything, you can still use it for some things. Like, try Puppy Linux. Puppy Linux is like a super light distribution of Linux, and it's very, like, it uses no resources at all. I've had a laptop with the no hard drive, very old, but you could run Puppy Linux and watch YouTube videos on it, so it still served a purpose. But then again, now we have little tablets like this that are way better than really old laptops. And this may be Ubuntu Touch, but there is full-blown 100% Ubuntu, like I'm running on the computer right now. And so you could like install programs like Debian packages, and you can do everything you can do on your laptop on here. And the best part is, if you get one of these, you can hook up a like a 4-port USB powered hub, and you could use your mouse on your Nexus 7, and you can use a USB keyboard, anything that's USB. It's a full-blown installation of Linux, so I'll put a link in the description to Zenomax's video. He makes pretty good videos himself, and definitely check him out if you've never heard of him, or if you haven't seen his video on the Nexus 7. He does put out a lot of videos, so there's a lot that I miss myself, but yeah, he's got a video showing full-blown Ubuntu on the Nexus 7. I'll be doing my own video, just because I do things my own certain way, and I want to play with it myself, and see what all limitations it has, what it can and cannot do, and plus it would be pretty freaking sweet to have a full-blown Ubuntu installation on a Nexus 7. By the way, this process right here is taking a while. Oh snap, I was just reading that. It says the -B performs a full backup of the device, a full bootstrap of the device. If the device is already unlocked, it will carry on. If you've already unlocked once and want to install daily, just do phablet flash and -I. This will deploy the latest build to your device. Your device should be reboot into Ubuntu Unity shell. So it's your choice whether you run the one that has the -B or the -I. Oh, it's rebooting. Awesome. At this point, it's going to boot into Ubuntu once it's done sending all the commands to the device, and this is exciting. I would be freaking out a little bit more if this was my first time. I will link to that video in the description. That was my first time installing it, so this is my second time installing it. Just this time I'm using my Canon 60D, and I'm using my Zoom H2 in to record my voice, and yeah. Alright, it's done. The computer is done. You don't need anything else. Now we just wait for this little bar to fill up, and it will boot into Ubuntu once it's done. So we can close this out. We can close out Firefox. And we can choose restart. And then it will reboot the computer. And it will boot into Windows or whatever. If you have Ubuntu installed on your SSD or your hard drive, then it'll boot to that instead of, you know, Ubuntu or whatever. I don't know. That's pretty sick though. Ubuntu on there and Ubuntu on here. Hey, you can come over. You can come over. Yeah, but I promise you, it's done. I'm almost done. You can come over, and I'll be in the bedroom recording. It's not a big deal. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. See, if this was like your mom's laptop or your friend's laptop or anybody's laptop, you didn't, you know, modify their device at all. It's a self-contained bootable flash drive that we did at the beginning of the video. Go ahead and just unplug this for now. The device is restarting. We should be booting into Ubuntu now. Oh yeah, it doesn't do anything at all until you see the desktop. Right there. Okay, I'm glad I remember this. I want to give a shout out. I think MobileCarlos on Twitter. I went to unlock it. And I was like, okay, what do I do? I was like, do I spin this around? You know, how do I do this? You can do this, and then it like does that. But he was like, just swipe from the right to the left, and bam, it unlocked. So I will put his tweet up on the screen, and you'll be able to, you know, check out his channel. He does Android videos as well. Really, a lot of things don't work at the moment. It's just more of a proof of concept. Like most of these, like Gmail and browser, take you to the mobile browser. And what's cool is you can like flip through your screens like this. Like we can go here and we can connect to the Wi-Fi. And it has a little keyboard. Interestingly enough, it's all caps lock, but it's not really caps lock. So we're connecting to our home Wi-Fi here, and it's connected. So that works. Again, you just go through like all the different screens. It shows you the battery. Apparently it's all the time zones in London stuff. And then if you go from the top, from the bottom, well, I don't know. But anyways, this is like your quick one. Like Twitter just takes you to the mobile web page, and then you can go to the phone, and then like you can swipe up, and it does like compose, and then like search, and if you swipe from the right, it goes through like your recent tasks, I think, like conversations, and then Twitter. And so yeah, I will have a link in the description to, I think, twildottv or something. He's a member of the XDA Developers TV, Jordan. I'll have a link to his video. It has like 26,000 views, which is impressive as of recording this video. And he walks you through a little bit more of it. And yeah, so make sure you check out his video. And I, again, will have a link to it. You can click on it and watch it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it when you guys do that. It lets me know you enjoyed the video and you want to see more videos like this. And just makes me feel like all of it was worth it to spend my time making a video like this. And yeah, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button in the bottom left. It'll notify you when I post my video. It should be tomorrow on how to flash this thing back to stock. And then I also have a video on how to root this thing. And then you can you know, plug in the flash drive to the little adapter here, and you can restore your ROM back to the way it was, you know, and then once this becomes a little bit more official and things start working, then, you know, then maybe it's something to play with. But that's about it. Yeah, I mean, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you subscribe. This is What Would Josh Do? And I'm out.